This call is being recorded.
All right. Well, I am recording this conversation, so please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions. Um,
Okay.
you got the transit forecast, so we're gonna look at the next 6 months ahead for you.
Okay.
Um, yup, we know that you have your rising in Virgo, which is awesome. Did I happen to give you an alien construct article for perhaps the last time we spoke?
You did. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's up? All right, so cool. Yeah, I will reference that a little bit, but we know that as a Virgo rising, you have Libra in your second house. So you're going through a second house transit at current, which is awesome. This is you manifesting the value of your partnerships relative to 6 months ago, where you were taking individual actions in Aries season to draw boundaries and individually assert the masculinity of your character and individually of your character that influences your dealings with other people, and how you're able to bring the value of balance in Libra originally to other people. And so 6 months later from then the cycle of that boundary drawing and intimacy and dealing with others, which is also investments, is now strengthening and empowering in more confidence, as second house is your self-esteem. We know that this is going to be square your Cancer sun, and the purpose of this Libra season is to prepare you for 6 months ahead, back in the Aries season, where you're taking this manifested value, which updates every year, and you'll individually bring that out to others to barter with, deal with, and draw even more boundaries coming into next April, next Aries season. So we know
Okay.
that. And once again, please feel free to interrupt if you have any questions. Not a problem.
Yep.
Um, once again, like, we know that in 6 months from now, we're going to see Jupiter go into Pisces. In January, we're going to have the North Node go into Taurus. So the South Node will begin to unlock Uranus in your chart. And we're also going to see this month in October, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto go direct. Pluto, of which is not only opposite your sun 24 degrees, but in another few months, specifically December or really January at the end of the year, Mercury retrograde, like the end of January during Aquarius season, which we'll talk about, will be conjunct Pluto opposite your sun. So that the rest of
Okay.
the year is definitely going to be at the end of this year, beginning of next year. It's definitely going to be, very relevant. Let's just say, in not only preparing for this, Venus itself will also go retrograde directly opposite your sun at 26 degrees. So you're going to
Okay.
be directly aware of this dynamic. We know that the retrograde is opposite your sun, so you're going to be aware of this in your relationships with other people, and it falls in your fifth. So this will take place. Your awareness of this with other people will take place in how your inner child is influenced and how you hold others accountable to the integrity of how you creatively express whatever boundaries are being drawn, or this very incredible focus of manifestation in, once again, your dealings with other people. So we
Okay.
know that we're in Libra season. Congratulations. I believe the sun right now is 8 degrees, And with
Okay,
that in
perfect.
mind, that's exactly on your Libra moon. How do you feel
I
today?
feel great.
That's awesome. Should
Yeah,
be
no,
like
it's
an
going well so
indicator.
far.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Mhm.
So with that being said, um, we do know that with this new moon setting or
Mhm.
feeling, this will definitely put you in position to realistically, open up this sense of really coming into greater awareness of relative to this year, once again, your value.
Right.
And this value is influenced in Libra by other people because as a Virgo rising, you manifest as a master partnerships with others. And as a Cancer sun, this is your fourth house. So you're understanding the value of the partnerships you're manifesting, even if we're just talking about collaborations or just more so balancing your own material finances and world. The second house is very powerful with Pluto here. So we know the new moon is going to be next week. You're going to start that cycle next week, specifically on the 6th of Wednesday in the second house, while Uranus is actually on your Chiron. And so this is
Okay.
going to radically, right? You're going to radically manifest unconventionally grounded beliefs around the healing potential of your own presence and sensual touch in relation and context to your dealings with other people and how you're seeing that, oh, wow, I mean, I'm able to practically ground and heal people so much more strong. So the value that I have in partnerships is that much more. You're going to be starting that new cycle coming into Wednesday to really develop this. And just to kind of explain that more, we know that Saturn is in Aquarius. We know that Jupiter is in Aquarius. So, with that in mind, you are in chapter 6, which is actually super awesome because as a Virgo rising, Aqua is your sixth house, which is the house of Virgo. So, you in
Oh,
this
okay.
lifetime not only develop advanced techniques and routines as the sixth house of Virgo is Aquarius. So the nature of your lifestyle is out of this world. It's actually super advanced. But you also have your South Node here. So your destiny is to take the resources of your advanced routines and to help unlock this golden spirituality for other people socially, to really inspire people to really live the life their heart guided them on relative to helping unlock a more advanced lifestyle and behavior that you can really help people release old thoughts behind, which is really cool because Saturn will stabilize this as it finishes through. But chapter 6 now, relative to last year, where you were really balancing more the creativity of your relationships because you went through the fifth house chapter, you unlocked, more creativity, even though 2020 was very chaotic. And the fifth house is, in a way, self employment. So you may have opened up more personal avenues for money here. Well, while Jupiter and Saturn are now integrating since 2016, where Jupiter came into your first with the Jupiter return, this brand new 12-year cycle. Now you're integrating all in the sixth house, 6 years worth of personal development so that you can put together a very extraordinary lifestyle. Jupiter has evolved this as it's on the vertex and actually next to your North Node. And what's going to happen is um, it'll go into Pisces next year, and you're going to do chapter 7. So, chapter
Okay.
7 is going to be evolving your divine partnerships, it's going to evolve your relationships, and it's going to take the integration of your lifestyle and bridge that next year into your relationships so that you can support divine partnerships that resonate with where you're headed in your life, which is very, very important because you're going to be evolving everywhere. As over the next 7 months next year, 7 years next year, you'll be going from the seventh house, eighth, ninth, 10th, taking the evolution of your identity you've cultivated for 6 years and now bringing that to other people to uplift your own career. And speaking of your career, the North Node is also coming out your 10th house. So this eclipse in Gemini did a lot to change the enlightened direction or meaning of your career path, which now that we had that eclipse in June, we can say by Sagittarius season, you'll conclude that eclipse by being more clear on what's ready to happen for your career. So around this period, it's amazing because the North Node is aligning your destiny to really give you career change, while Saturn is stabilizing your work environment in the fifth, so that you have a place to work, or that you're solidifying the authority over a routine. That this is cool that Libra's in your second house. You're already manifesting the power and the value with which will connect to the sixth and then connect to the 10th. Does that resonate at all?
It does. It does. Yeah, there's been some interesting developments with work. And when you're talking about stabilizing, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Like it's almost like I don't have to worry about my job anymore. It's like I have a sense of power over it in some
Mhm.
way. Um, I've sort of solidified my position in it, and now I have a little more freedom in that area of my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been interesting.
As
And I've kind of been noticing that, like, this is weird. This is a twist. Like, it wasn't always like that. So, yeah, definitely. There's been a lot of changes since March 2020. Surprise.
nice.
All of them positive, all of them sort of moving me further ahead in life, like
Okay.
drastically, dramatically.
Right.
Um, yeah, to a point where I want to be so that I can live the life that I want to live. So, yeah,
Which
this
once
is all
again is very important too, because we know that you know, now that this is in the sixth, Saturn was in your first house. Oh, that's amazing. You also have Saturn in Virgo. So you had the Saturn return 2008. And so since 2008 and in 2016, you're fully integrating this. This is a really, congratulations, by the way, because this is a
thank you.
very good milestone. It really speaks of the discipline in your behavior you've integrated, so that now you're literally constructing the lifestyle that will really just set itself and last for the next 30 years, because Jupiter evolved it. Now Jupiter over the next Saturn over the next year is going to be strengthening it,
Okay.
adding more cement, right? And
Okay, good.
really solidifying it, right? So the way I like to see this is like the sixth house is like your work environment. So Saturn and Jupiter could be like you finding just the right office. And then Libra, of course, is your values, your prices to work with people. Let's say since it's a social sign, whereas you and I are talking one on one, because my Gemini is the second house. Libra is
Right.
more social. So you're more socially interacting, whether one on one or with multiple people. So it gives you a higher income potential. But this definitely speaks of now translating that power you manifest with other people to integrate knowledgeably and in an advanced fashion. And then, of course, Gemini is going to be the North Node, bringing just that right person to your career that can now, because Saturn created the work environment for people to actually do that. So, this is really Libra season, really is completing that grand air trine of manifesting just the right partnerships and the right direction with the right people, even if just at a mindset level, so that this can complete what you've put into work since February 2021 and then June. And now, boom, we're back here in October. And I think this is going to be really good for finances this month for you too, because of the
Okay.
actions you're taking to complete this, even if it's just through networking, which leads into that by once again February. So we're going to have with the new moon following that, Jupiter and Saturn go direct in your sixth. And the purpose of the sixth house transit is to put construction on your lifestyle, so that once you step in the seventh, now you've mastered your routine. Now you can balance your lifestyle with another person's lifestyle, as you'll be attracting the right divine partnerships, really stepping into the last seven chapters of this 12-year cycle. And subsequently, Saturn will join 2023. and eventually go over your seventh. When it goes into Pisces, you will be completing the Saturn return that started 2009 in Virgo. So
Okay.
once we once we step into Scorpio season, which by the way, the end of Libra season will give minor clashes with the T square of the Pluto in your fifth, and then this in the 11th. So this is anchoring the extreme social quality of your value and self esteem with your awareness of others who may undermine it, or you're bringing awareness to the community around you individually of even more proof and just really credibility of how influential and helpful and powerful you're really being. So Scorpio season is going to come through. That's going to be the third house. You're going to be developing the pure abilities and skill sets, the unconventional attitude here, which is cool because you have Uranus in Scorpio. So you have a very pure healing ability with Chiron in the ninth that can unconventionally draw this pure claircognizant wisdom and energy through your body to heal, to ascend people's understanding of their physiology in a better light. And I want to say to supernaturally touch people and heal them. Like this is very
Okay.
strong. Okay. And we know you're a Cancer sun, so you definitely got the
Right.
healing magic. And so it's going to
Okay.
feel good. So this is where we're going to strengthen this. The cool thing is that Uranus is in Taurus. It's retrograde. So you're going through a Uranian opposition that over the next couple of years is going to be complete. This is like a full-on completion of really correlating and pipelining power from the depths of your soul and core to your physical body. It took like 50 years to really maintain, as it takes everybody to come to the opposition. But this you have super strong because it's square your nose, which now
Yeah.
aligns healing to your destiny path. And the reason why this is important is we know at the end of the year, the North Node is going to go into Taurus. And so after you've changed this direction of your career, nature of your career, and what you think of it, this is going to now anchor with the North Node in Taurus to align to this healing path so that you're unlocking this unconventional claircognizant wisdom. You're unlocking these purely genius and extraordinary abilities so that you can use that as a resource to solidify new grounded philosophy, to really bring practicality in this sense of wisdom and to show people individually, hey, this is how this really works. And that would be very interesting because this can also be good for money. The North Node is going to really ground and stabilize a lot of this changeable, mutable energy, and it's going to unlock more of your abilities. So Scorpio season will be a sneak peek of that, where because this is going to be opposing Uranus in your ninth and squaring your aqua transiting energy, fixed signs are energies, right? So here's where February 11th, you started the cycle to start a new habit and behavior. You had that stellium. The ninth house transit in Taurus, subsequently in May of 2021, was to integrate the integration of your lifestyle into your beliefs. Now that you've come up with this great knowledge and cycle of, hey, these are great ideas I can use to really build an extraordinary lifestyle, 4 months later, by May, now you're practically, because you've consistently exercised and applied this, now it's starting to practically be a part of your lifestyle and beliefs. So now you're walking more of your talk because this is more a part of your philosophy. And then boom, Leo season came. You completed that cycle in August to where your
Okay.
spiritual beliefs, right? You've released old spiritual beliefs and you've mastered this element of your lifestyle since August to where your spirituality has now become more of what you've intellectually really practiced. Now it's so mastered you can passionately at a heart level creatively do what you've been saying. Even if like the sixth house aqua was like a workout regimen, boom, you see the results in August. And now because you've seen results, Virgo season came through and now you've changed how you identify yourself because you've changed your behavior around yourself. Boom, Libra season is now manifesting the value of that. And so Scorpio season is coming back around and it's strengthening newly defined habits and upgraded habits and skills rather and abilities and your attitude relative to a whole year's worth of mastering your lifestyle. So you're now having to clash. Now that you've mastered a stronger behavior, how does your attitude and skill sets upgrade to which you can still strengthen this lifestyle. And that's going to be the clash here that I think will just strengthen what you've worked hard to establish in your behavior. And you'll see more results for how much stronger you are. And that's something to keep in mind with the new moon. That's going to be directly opposite Uranus at 12 degrees. And I
Okay.
think this is going to break you through a much pure element because this is going to trine your Cancer energy. And so, with the groundwater trine to Neptune, you'll really be intuitively insightful into, I would say, one of the greatest evolutions in your emotional intelligence and being able to
Thank God.
sense even deeper what people feel. How does that sense? How do you resonate with that?
That's kind of what I feel like has been happening since August. Like I feel like I'm finally like mastering this emotional turmoil that normally exists within me.
Mm,
And I feel like since I guess maybe since the new moon in August, um, there's like more of a sense of calm, and I feel like I'm more in control of that part of myself, and I'm learning how to work with it. And yeah, sort of how I portray myself to others, and I guess sort of like manipulate my emotions in order to serve me better.
right. Which is beautiful. Third house is also communicating ideas. So in
Okay.
Scorpio, it's kind of like an unspoken, like emotional telepathy or being able to just sense the vibe. And I think you're going to break through and being able to communicate things that might have been beyond people's understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
cool.
com- coming out of that, of course, things will already be direct. And this is where we're coming into the final eclipse in, of course, Sagittarius. And this is going to have you come into more meaningful understanding of what the destiny lesson blessed you. I think you're going to come into great blessings and serendipity concerning your career. And you're going to be aware of that, of how you're able to integrate your home space and working and operating off of them to create more freedom and adventure. This is going to be squaring the seventh house Neptune. So while you're aware of this as in a sixth house space, um, this is going to be ascending more the hidden meaning that will go into the eclipse lesson you gained through really ascending to a higher light, your career direction. The coolest thing about this is there's nothing you have to do. It's just going to happen because you
Oh,
did the
good.
work through last year, right? It's just
Oh,
at this
I definitely did the work last year.
right, and and your MCs put that message out there, so the North Node will really respond to that, and you'll see, based on 6 months ago, especially what's manifesting here. So Sagittarius will really clear that eclipse. We then will have the retrograde of Venus opposite your Cancer Sun, and this is what with Pluto that will subsequently reach there too, and Mercury retrograde. That Capricorn period will really revisit last year of really, deepening your inner child and your creative ability. Fifth house is also undergraduate education and children, but this is the integrity as the ruler of your fifth is actually on your AC, which is amazing. So you identify with this serious karma of taking serious what you love to do. I would imagine you're the type of person that you take your fun very seriously. Like if you were going to do a creative project, you would do the greatest you can do and almost work super hard at it, whereas certain people would just have fun with it. You may have fun, but you're going to be very serious about your fun. But
Right.
fifth house, right? But that's why your talent is some of the greatest. You put in the greatest work, and this is where this is going to be revisited because this is opposite your sun. The 11th house is like the audience, where now you're taking this incredible performance, and it produces a sincere emotion for those who watch. So opposite, you may come into opposition from circle people, from your circle of friends, or people who try and undermine the more creative expression of how Venus retrograde will be reorganizing what you love and how you present it and how you express it. Um, because this will definitely be once again opposing your sun and squaring the Libra energy and
Okay.
Chiron, I think this is just going to more influence how much more boldly and creatively you express your heart. But that's definitely, I think, going to be one of the more challenging aspects of the coming into the end of the year. And then
Okay.
eventually, we'll go into Aquarius season. Venus will go direct with Mars in Capricorn. The conjunction to Saturn in your sixth will now revisit the years long Saturn in Aquarius and just give you an update at how much more mastered your lifestyle is relative to last year, February, where you were just starting the cycle. And by this time, Jupiter will be in your seventh. You'll have a Jupiter opposition in completion since 2016, and you will be effectively now, starting chapter seven, congratulations by that, and you're evolving your partnerships. Normally, when Jupiter goes over the seventh or Saturn, which it will 2023, you'll get married, you'll get divorced, you go into a business partnership. So, this is an auspicious time, especially starting from Capricorn season, to perhaps develop existing relationships, literally meet new people, fated
Right.
that you're meant to, that can, open up partnerships that you're meant to evolve and upgrade every relationship because now you're bringing the evolution of your own personality since 6 years and you're divinely holding space for others to really match that and you're bringing that to others. That's why the relationships have evolved because you level them. And so in that sense, while that's happening, now we're in, of course, the sixth house transit, but 2021 of February, while you were in Aquarius, you were in chapter six. So it was the awareness of your lifestyle while you were integrating your lifestyle. 2022 Aquarius season, you're going to be integrating your lifestyle, but while you're upgrading your partnerships. So you're going to be coming into awareness of how much more to strengthen these new lifestyle developments relative to how your partnerships are evolving and influencing your behavior and your behavior influencing those partnerships. So that's what's going to lead us to Aries season, where now, since 6 months from this month right now, you will bring such great quality and value individually in Aries to other people, but now relative to the evolution of your partnerships, meeting new people, expanding your connections with others, and now relative to what you're manifesting this month, that's what you're directly going to bring out there assertively to draw boundaries, to results of partnership, dive deeper with people. And if we go back to Pisces season, that new moon cycle with Jupiter and Neptune, I think is going to change your life because it's going to be it's going to be such divine expansion. And you have Saturn and Jupiter and Virgo. So you'll be able to analyze very keenly the higher meaning of who is meant to really, transcend this partnership path with you. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. So congratulations in advance.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a question regarding travel.
Sure, go
So
ahead.
I wanted to take a trip, and I've been thinking about this since 2020, but it didn't happen for various reasons and obvious reasons. Um, but I'm going to meet my family for the first time. And this was supposed to happen in April of 2020, and then it didn't.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm trying to figure out like when is a good time to go and do that. So I'm supposed to be meeting my brothers who I've never met before and my dad who I haven't seen in 10 years. And I'm trying to figure out what might be the best time to sort of like open up and include those people now in my life and what might be the most auspicious time to do that. Would it be during Pisces season?
That's a really good question because
Mm,
right now, Libra season technically is as a Cancer sun, fourth house to you. So this is your awareness of family
okay.
and more specifically, how your awareness of family influences your self esteem in your body, which with Pluto here might have been growing up debilitating. Maybe it might have been challenging. You might have had to struggle with that. Now with which you're overcoming. So I'm really glad you asked that question. I would say if we give a phase, we know that your natal fourth house is Sagittarius season. So I would say from now until end of December into Sag, you're coming into mulling over this and really, um, you know, synthesizing and understanding it. There we go. I wanted to say Sag because it's your fourth house where you'll come into greater clarity. But you may take action on it this season where things may just come up naturally or truthfully in that sense.
Okay.
And then by Pisces season, boom, now it's your partnership focus, but you've already really cleared your ideas of how you want to approach this in the fourth house transit. That's a really good question. I
Okay.
think like every month will give us a flavor of moving forward.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
No problem. And yeah, so just in a nutshell, this is going to wrap up this sixth house transit for Jupiter, while Saturn will go through. Once the North Node starts to transit your Taurus, now that you've set the career direction or meaning in place, the North Node in your ninth, I think, will be you now teaching about what you do or putting yourself in a position where people can come and learn about what you offer since the nodes move in reverse. And it's going to stabilize a lot of what has been put in place, and I think it's just going to be really good in gaining more traction and having you move forward from there. But other than that, I'm going to send you this recording.
Okay. Thank you very much. I
No
appreciate it.
problem. It was really great to touch base with you again, and you have a blessed weekend.
You too. Talk soon.
All right. Sounds good. Peace
Okay.
out.
Peace.